Hello, I'm Rebecca Flaherty, and in this final tutorial of our Pattern Maker Canvas Folk Art Florals series, we're creating a vertical trailing floral layout that would look amazing as wallpaper or any tool repeat project. This is the 6 template, and it's all about bold, modern folk art florals flowing beautifully from top to bottom. I'll guide you through the diamond method and show you how to swap and mix any of the floral or critter stamps to create your own design. This wraps up our series, but remember you can mix and match any of the 6 templates, use the free colour palette from the Pattern Maker's Toolkit and all the floral stamp brushes that come with the set from my Etsy store, so you can come up with your own unique variations on each one. I can't wait to see what you create, so get designing and have fun. And don't forget to share your finished patterns, or maybe even a whole finished collection, in the community tab so I can see what you've made. Let's turn off this layer and have a look at this template. So this one is a nice vertical trailing floral one, and it's got all these lovely vertical trailing branches. The ones we're going to start off with are the ones marked in green. So let's go straight into our sketch folder and let's get the motif stamp first into these black circles. So I'm going to use the last one from this set, and it's this nice simple one there. So I'm just going to stamp one of these into all of these black circles and then go around with the select tool and turn them all around. So turn snapping and magnetics off and then turn these all around so they're all facing the right way. So once all of those are in place, we can then start tracing over the canvas. I'm not going to bother to offset this around the outside because all of these motifs fit so perfectly within the circles. I would know where something is when I'm drawing something else. So we can go straight into the pattern folder, and we're going to start with these green branches first. So let's make the background colour this light green, and I'm going to draw with this, make the background colour light green, and then I'm going to draw with this white colour. So I think I'm going to start with this one and curve it round. Try and stick as closely as I can to the dotted line, especially at the end here, and finish about there. It's gone a little bit wobbly there, but we can clean that up when we join the pattern together. So I'm just going to trace over all of the rest of these green lines now. So once we've drawn this in, we can put it in place up here and down there to be able to draw these branches as well. So put a mark going off the corners, duplicate, tap transform, put snapping and magnetics on, and then snap this down into that corner there, making sure you've got those orange lines there. Then we can duplicate again and do the same up into this corner, again being really careful to make sure you've got those orange lines there. And pinch those top two together, make sure you're on the layer that has this on it, and then we can fill this part in the middle. I'm going to start with this one and curve it round down to there, and then see how that's looking after I've joined it up. That's blended in all right, and that is looking all right there. I was worried it was going to stick out a bit too far and I might have to fix it, but that is looking okay. So then we can put the rest of these in. That's all of our white branches in now. We can delete those duplicated ones from up there. Let's draw these stems in next. So add a layer, and we'll use the darkest green to draw these, and it's this one here that we're going to draw first. So I'll try and draw this all in one go. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start up here and come down to here where it changes from green into blue. I'll make the background white again. Now we've finished drawing the white things on so that you can see a bit more easily what I'm doing. There we go. And we can draw the leaves in on this. And I should have done this on a separate layer, I've just spotted I haven't. So what I'm going to do is carefully draw around this and cut and paste it onto another layer. So I'll draw around it, tap transform, swipe down with 3 fingers and cut and paste. So now that's on its own layer, like it should have been in the first place. And now we can put marks going off the corners. Duplicate it, tap transform, and we're going to snap it down and to the right, making sure you've got those orange lines there. Duplicate again. Snap that up and to the right. And then we can see where we need to merge in at the bottom and start at the top here. So pinch those top 2 together and then make sure you're working on this layer. And we're going to pick up in this line and continue it down. I'm not going to try and do all this in one go. And then when we get to the bottom here, I'm going to make sure I stop before I go to the edge. So I'm going to go just far enough to merge it in, but not go all the way down. I hide that one and see I've finished there. That's quite important in this one, is that you don't go all the way down to the edge. So once you've done that, you can then come up to the top, and it's just this part here that we need to merge in. Just make sure I'm definitely on the right layer. There we go. So once that's merged in, we can then get rid of that reference layer. Don't worry if you've got a little gap there, it's going to be filled in with this one. So don't worry about that. But if you want to fill it in, you could do that before you delete this one. So we can get rid of that now. And then on this layer, carrying on drawing all the leaves in now. Then we can colour fill all of these in. Right, let's put the background back to its proper colour. And I'm going to add a stripe of colour on these leaves. So let's add a layer above, make it a clipping mask, and we'll use this mid-green. And I'm going to turn the sketch off for this so I can see the leaves clearly. And we're just going to put a stripe of colour going down each one. Maybe I don't want that to be a perfect straight line actually. And then I'm going to draw around the leaf and colour fill that in. So start at the top and draw these in like that. You don't have to draw around the actual edge of the leaf. Like if you draw to there, you can draw around here, and as long as you connect it back up there, you can still do your colour drop. So I'm going to repeat that for all of these. Let's turn the sketch back on now and work on these little motifs here. So to do these, I'm going to start by adding a layer above the white and drawing this little cloud shape here also in white. And we can fill that in. Then we're going to add another layer underneath, and I'm going to draw these nice swirly teardrop shapes in. Then another layer above that, and I'm going to use the mid blue here to just trace over those lines. And then I'm going to go and repeat that for all of those little flower dots, putting each of these bits on separate layers. Then all I'm going to do is just add a few cute little pink and yellow dots to this before we draw this extra part in there. So come up to the top, grab the colour shift dot and yellow and pink for your colours. And I'm just going to draw a few little pink and yellow dots around here. I love how these colours look together. There we go. All we need to do now is this last pink leaf in the extra group. So swipe down with 3 fingers and copy all. Come up here to your extra group. You can turn that on, turn the pattern off for now. Tap there, swipe down with 3 fingers and paste. We're going to duplicate this, bring one over to this side, make sure it's snapped to the edge there. This one, snap over to there. Pinch those together. And it's going to be easier if we bring part of this up to the top. So duplicate again one more time, snap halfway up and then halfway over to this side. So that's snapped up into this corner and you should have something that looks like this. This top one, change the blend mode to color burn or multiply. And then you'll be able to see that part of the stem as well. You can then merge all of these down onto one layer, add a layer above and just draw this leaf in, the same as we did for the others. Making sure that you're on a new layer and then you can just draw this in. There we go. That's all of the illustration done and now we can build out this tile. So let's duplicate the extra group, delete that extra part from underneath, and we can flatten this extra copy and put that up at the top there. Hide your extra group. Turn your pattern on. You can duplicate this and flatten and bring that up to the top as well. And then you can hide all the layers. Let's start by putting this leaf on the edges. Put another mark going off the corners of that one. Duplicate, snap half over here to this edge, and then the other half over there to that edge. Pinch to merge those together and erase those marks there. That should be looking all right there. And then you can pinch that down with your pattern flattened copy. You should already have those marks on the corners there. And then you can duplicate this and snap it into the corners. One down there, just making sure you've got those orange lines in. Duplicate and bring this one up there. And again over to this side. And then last one down in the bottom right. Pinch your top 4 together, erase these marks in the middle, and then off the edges there. And then that's this finished pattern tile, and we can see how this one looks in repeat now. Swipe down with 3 fingers, copy all, come up to the top here, add a layer and fill it and invert it. Swipe down with 3 fingers and paste. Then you can drag this into the middle, 1800 pixels, duplicate and snap this over to the right, and just make sure that your motifs are all lined up and okay there. So that's the side seam checked. Then duplicate, bring this one down there, and then just make sure that the top and bottom seams are all right. And then that's this pattern in repeat. Don't forget to share your patterns in the community tab. I can't wait to see your final creations from this series. You can grab the templates and stamp brushes from my Etsy store, plus the free colour palette and some other floral layout templates in the Pattern Makers Toolkit. The Pattern Makers Toolkit is a creative space for your pattern making journey, filled with brushes, palettes and resources to follow along and stay inspired. It's free to join, and the monthly email is the only place to get your hands on the free stamp brush sets to follow along with the cozy colouring time lapses this year. You'll also get 10% off all the premium templates in my Etsy store, early access to some YouTube tutorials, plus all the free brushes, palettes, templates and mock-ups in the resource library. Think of it as your monthly dose of colour, fun and pattern making chaos. If you'd like to join, just follow the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching this series. Have fun, stay creative, and I will see you soon.